Hello, Tony here from NU Aqua. Let me show you how easy it is to install your new RO system under your kitchen sink. Let's check out the Tankless RO system. You can see that it has this magnetic lid that holds the filters. There's 1, 2, and 3 filters for all the different elements. Easy change out and replacement. Lid snaps back on. Indicator lights for the functions of the unit. Then as we turn it around, you can see where the connections are to your water supply system. Once we remove this shipping cover, you can see the connections for water in, water out, your drain function, and your power connector. To prepare for installation, let's review the package contents. To start off, we have a really nice faucet here with the valve of on and off. This is our power supply. You can see this will go to the unit, and then this will go to a 110 outlet. Next up is our drain saddle. You can see how this fits on your waste outlet. A 1/4-inch quick connect along with some clips. Your feed water adapter. The cool thing about the feed water adapter is that it's a universal fit. So water comes in this direction from your shutoff valve. This goes to your faucet. This goes to your new RO system. You can tell that with this adapter that it fits any size of shutoff valve that you may have. So you can do the larger one, or you put this in and you screw it in all the way and tighten it down, and it fits the smaller one. And enough tubing to complete the install. And finally, your filters 1, 2, and 3. Let's look at the tools you'll need for the job. You want an adjustable wrench, a 14mm wrench, black marker, a razor knife, Phillips screwdriver, and a 1/4-inch drill bit on a good drill. The most important piece is the water stop leak valve. This prevents your cabinet from getting flooded in case your connectors leak. When water comes in through the inlet valve, comes in through here to your faucet, then this goes to your RO system. This goes between the water coming in and your RO system. You can see that it says in, and then it travels through here and then back out here, and that goes to your RO system. The cool feature about this is it's placed lowest in your cabinet, right on the floor of the cabinet, and you put in this little disc and you clip this shut. And what happens is, because it's low in the cabinet, if you have a leak, any water that starts to build up on the floor of the cabinet swells up the disc and shuts the valve. Then no more water is going to your entire system. That will save your cabinet from damage. Now that we have everything ready to go, let's locate the cold water valve so that we can start the installation. The cold water valve should be the one on the right, so turn it clockwise to shut it off. For new installations, you can disregard this step, but if you've been previously using your faucet, after you shut off the water, you'll want to open the valve there, let all the water drain out. You can leave it open, and then that way you won't have a wet mess underneath your cabinet. Let's install your feed water adapter onto the cold water valve using a wrench. To catch any drips or anything coming from the disconnection of the fittings, you want to place a towel underneath here so that the bottom of your cabinet doesn't get all wet. Be sure that you don't cross thread any of the fittings. I'll use a larger crescent wrench to tighten the larger fittings. The feed water adapter has a swiveling feature so that it can align with your installation. Next up, let's install the faucet. We're going to use the 4th hole to the right. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 in our stainless steel sink. So here's the faucet hardware. You're going to put this washer on first, then the rubber one, the metal one, the spring one, and then the nut. What I like to do is stack all of them up so you can put them on at the same time. Like that. If your installation requires drilling, locate the spot on your countertop where you would like the faucet, and make sure that it hangs over the sink appropriately. The countertop we are installing on today is quartz, but keep in mind that these methods apply to granite or any other stone countertop that is prone to cracking. If you are drilling through quartz or granite, you will need to use clay to make a pool of water for drilling as so. When drilling into quartz or granite, you have to use a 5/8 diamond-tipped hole saw drill bit like we're using. When drilling into wood, laminate, or other non-stone countertops, drill a pilot hole using a 1/4-inch drill, then switch to a 5/8 drill bit to finish the job. Next up is installing our drain saddle. So this clamps on each side of the pipe and allows it to drain out properly. What we're going to do is we're going to mount it here. You want it before the trap system, okay? You don't want it after that. If you have a sink that's a double bowl sink and you have another horizontal pipe here, you could drill the hole in the top of that and that would work out fine. Otherwise, it goes right on the side here. It's going to be a perfect fit. Take our black marker and I'm going to mark a hole right on the side here as our spot to drill with our 1/4-inch drill bit. Put it right on the side here. Comes with this foam gasket that has adhesive on one side. What we'll do is we'll peel that off and place it right over the hole. And make sure you get it exactly over it so that you can aim your saddle on there properly. To make sure you line it up, I would take another drill bit. Be careful not to damage the fitting, but you're just poking it through like that. It's pretty loose. I would put it in the hole, seat in there like that. That'll help you line it up. And you can take the other side, and like that. Put your bolt through there. One thing to notice is the saddle on this side has a space for the nut to fit into so that it doesn't turn. That way all you need is a Phillips screwdriver to tighten it. Once you have the nuts threaded onto the screws, tighten them down. Once it's kind of snug, take your drill bit, put in there and make sure your hole is lined up. Otherwise your drain will be off. That looks good there. Careful not to move it. Just keep snugging it down. I like to go back and forth until the sides are clamped all the way shut. Getting close. You can see a gap closing up here. All right, now it won't budge at all. Should be good to go. Next up, let's start making system connections. What we have is we have 1/4-inch tubing and we have 3/8-inch tubing. First, we'll cut the tubing. What you want to do is you want to get a sharp blade and you want to put it across the tubing. And I like to use an old board to cut on. And I'll go across the tubing and I'll push with the tip using a downward stroke to cut through it and then cut the remaining part off. See how nice and square that is? That way it will fit into the quick connect fitting and not leak. Next, what you do is you push it all the way into the quick connect fitting till it's seated in there all the way. Then you'll take and pull up on the ring there and utilizing the clip, put it in underneath of it. By pulling it up, it grips inside of there and keeps a leak-free connection. Let's install our water stop leak valve. You're going to want to place the disc tray towards you. So in case it ever gets triggered, then you can, refill it and reset the system after your cleanup, and you'll be good to go. Let's place it on the floor of your cabinet, right next to your unit. That way it has easy access and it's mostly out of the way from anything else in your cabinet. Takes just 4 screws to fasten it down. Let's connect our water stop leak valve to our feed water adapter. We're going to measure the amount of line it's going to take. This is our in, the one closest to you, right to here. You're going to push the tubing all the way into the fitting till it stops completely. Then pull out the fitting here. Then take your blue clip and place it behind. So it looks just like that. Push this end in all the way down and make sure that it snaps in. Don't forget your blue clip. That keeps it secure and leak free. Let's do the hose in the back. We're going to push it all the way in. That. As you can see, we have water coming in, going to our stop leak valve, and that'll go to our unit. Let's connect the 1/4 inch quick connect for our faucet. So without the blue clips on, let's push it in all the way till it stops. And you're going to pull a little bit so that there's a gap there. Then you're going to take your clip and push it on. That'll hold it and make a secure connection. Let's connect our quick connect fitting to our faucet. Push it all the way in. Our blue clip on, that'll hold it snug, secure, and leak free. And we'll take the remaining 1/4 inch tubing and stick it into the drain tube saddle, just like that. And then what we'll do is put a blue clip in here to secure it. Just like the last one, what we'll do is we'll go in and cut the excess tubing. Let's review the connections that we have. We have water coming in from our valve to our stop leak. We have water line to our faucet. Then we have water that goes out through our trap. Let's go ahead and make our connections. This is from our water in. And we're going to push all the way down till it absolutely stops. Next is our water out. This is our faucet. So if you've purchased the Alkaline mineralization filter, this is a good time to install that. What this does, improves taste, balances pH, and restores minerals to your drinking water. It's a really good addition to our tankless system. Let's go ahead and install it. All right, turning it around, you can see that it has a hanging bracket right at the top. What you can do is you can mount it with the 2 included mounting screws right in the back of the cabinet up high if you choose to. That way it's out of the way and you got more space in your cabinet. Installation is super simple. You go the out, which normally goes to the faucet. All you do is you take that tubing and you direct it to the in of the filter. There's out from the main unit. And we'll go in. Inside the filter. Then we'll take the line that's going to our faucet and go the out. Don't forget your blue clips on all 3 fittings. And you're good to go. Then our drain. And then finally our power plug. Let's go ahead and put our blue clips in. That'll give a nice, secure, leak-free connection. So you can't forget them. So So I like to mount the power supply up really high with some coarse threaded screws. Let's go ahead and put our 3 filters in there before we power it up. Filter 1 goes into filter 1 spot. Filter 2. The big one, filter 3. So before we do our system startup, we always check connections and make sure everything is pushed in all the way. I make sure there's no disc in here and that this is closed, because that prevents any water from going through here, because we want to systematically check things in order. Next, we want to double check and make sure that all of our fittings are secure. Now, you don't want to over tighten these because they are plastic, but giving them a little turn just to make sure is always a good idea, or at least just feel it, you know. So if you're checking this one, make sure it's good. Check this top one. Yep. And make sure the valve is off. This is off, and this one is off. Next, let's double check to make sure all of our hoses are pushed in all the way and totally secure. Once we're confident everything is secure, let's plug in our system to our outlet. Please note, with outlets under the sink, typically the top outlet is for garbage disposal, so it's connected to a switch above the countertop. The bottom one is hot for any other accessories such as our water filters. After plugging in the power cord, you'll notice that the standby light will pulse on and off. The flickering that you see is just the frame rate of the screen, so we're still in standby mode. Another very important thing to check is that your cartridges are inserted all the way and locked into place, just like that. So double, triple make sure that those are locked in place. Let's open our main valve. Now that we have the system on, what we're doing is we're checking for leaks here and here. Looks like we're good. Now that we've detected no leaks here, we're going to go ahead and turn on the valve to the system here. Then we'll have to go down here and turn on this valve because our stop leak valve is preventing anything from going to the system. Let's put our little disc in there. Remember, if water gets on the floor, it'll expand. So I'm looking for leaks there. I'm looking for leaks on the back. Now that the system has pressure, let's go ahead and turn it on. Now that it's stopped, tank is full. Checking all the connections. I think we're good. I don't see any water anywhere. Let's turn the faucet on. So you're going to see a lot of media come out with new filters. So that's the excess charcoal media. It should clear up in no time. Don't let that scare you. Always lots of charcoal media at first. Check the unit itself. Back of the unit. Everything looks good. Good. So you can see that the filter media has a gray tint to the water. Once it's flushed out, it clears right up. When the filter media is all flushed out, it's nice and clear. After letting it run for 10 minutes, we come and we check every section of the unit to make sure that there is no leaks. I don't see a drip of water anywhere. I say that was an installation success. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you follow the directions all the way through the entire video, you'll have leak-free performance for years to come. My advice is to come back after a couple hours of installation and check just to make sure there's no leaks around. And then for the next several days, check a couple of times a day just to make sure. So from all of us at NU Aqua, thank you for choosing the Tankless RO system. Take care.